Welcome back. DAR Sports Media. Hoops Hour, baby. We are back. Been a couple weeks, last episode we had our guy Drew on here with us. We were talking about all the things in the NBA. I got squad in here today. Mr. Hoop Panel himself. Got Axel in the building. Got Tev in the building. My man Tev Bands. And, of course, still fresh from the gym, probably. My guy Lee Harvey, who I just saw your video you posted from your game the other night on YouTube. I'm gonna leave you alone because it looks like you're getting cooked out there, but it's all good. It looks like you're getting cooked out there. You're getting cooked. It's all good. It's all good though. Nah, man. Hoops Hour. We're back. It's trade deadline, February 6th. A lot of conversations happening right now. I'm gonna start with you, Tev. Do you think this James Butler trade? Do you think good old Jimothy is gonna be traded before the trade deadline? And the way it's sounding, I think it was Bogdanovich. I want to say that the Phoenix Suns are starting to look at too, which makes you wonder: is that because there's some hiccups in the Jimmy Butler thing, or what? Mm-hmm. Do you think Jimmy Butler's going to be traded, and where do you think he's going to be traded?
Do I think he's? I've been contemplating about that for a couple of days now. It seemed like it in the beginning, like he was just going to send him to Phoenix, get it over with. But I kind of think Pat Riley is playing games with him right now. I think they're having like a petty war. I can see two things happening. Jimmy gets traded, all is well. Or Pat Riley keeps him. And I know you said it before the pod, and you said he'd keep him and suspend. Somebody said it, they'd keep him and then suspend him for the rest of the year. But I think he might let him come back, see how he plays. They might just play with his contract, play with him the whole time. I can see those two things happening, but yeah, I think they're having a petty war right now. I really don't know how it's gonna go. Like I said, I had faith the trade would get done, but yeah, I really don't know right now.
And speaking of the petty war, and speaking of Tev has an article about this on the Medium site. Jimothy Butler against Pat Godfather Riley. They have their war going on. I don't know if Jimmy Butler is going to be traded. Ax, what you think?
Can I add something? Oh, my fault.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know if you didn't read the article, my standpoint is I'm on Jimmy's side. I feel like they should have traded him because Pat Riley did not have to say what he said in that initial press conference. He could have said it to him in private. I know Jimmy didn't have to go on that video and say what happened against Boston and talk his shit. But Pat Riley could have kept it mature, kept it grown up, and addressed that in private. He did not have to say anything to the media and blow the whole situation out of proportion. That's essentially why we're here now. So I'm on Jimmy's side. I think they need to trade him because it's only going to get worse if they don't.
I have a thought, but I'm going to pass it to Ax before I get to my thought.
Well, I already know secretly Pat Riley probably calling him a fucking mooly behind the scenes and all that shit. Like the nerve of me giving him $48 million and then $52 million. You know, Pat Riley wasn't making shit back in his day. So he's probably the type of way. But honestly, Butler's killing his own value, in my opinion, man. Like, teams ain't gonna want to deal with his antics. He's 35 years old. He's owed $48 million this year. He's owed $52 million the next year. Like, it's not worth it. And then he's trying to be picky where to go. Memphis was interested at one point, and that was like a really good fit. But dude want to sit here and say nah because apparently his baby mom's live in Memphis. So
that's why.
That's what people was telling me. It was like his baby mom's live in Memphis, so that's why he was like, I don't want to go there. But it's like, bro, your options is limited. Bradley Beal ain't gonna waive that he ain't gonna waive that no trade clause in Phoenix, so you stuck. It's just like I don't know. Pat Riley, the petty type, is probably gonna trade him to a shitty team. He's trying to put together an offer, but this new bum ass CBA with the second apron and all that shit is making trades harder. So he's probably just gonna be stuck in Miami, getting suspended without pay, and he's shooting himself in the foot right now. And Phoenix, man, that's not really an ideal destination. I mean, he'll be a better fit than Bradley Beal, but they're not really a good team like that. And I think Phoenix is smart to try to pivot to other players. Like they try to see what was good on Zach LaVine. I think that's smart because LaVine's younger. Yeah. They trying to see if they can flip Nurkic for Bogdanovich. Nurkic, he already talking in the past tense. He was like, yeah, they got a lot of chaos going on. Like he ain't want to talk this shit. So it's just messy, man. And if I'm Jimmy Butler, bro, like I would just try to lock in and play because like the whole walking out of practice because Haywood Highsmith was
that's crazy, yo.
I mean, I understand it.
That's crazy.
But you gotta kind of conduct it a little bit better. You don't really have the leverage to keep burning bridges. This is your fourth spot. 3 out of 4 spots is ended in a shitty predicament. Like going back to Minnesota, going back to Chicago. Like Philly, that was just a bad decision on their part. But like everywhere you go, it ends shitty. So at this point, you 35 and you owe 50 mil. You can't really match contracts too much. You can't stack the whole contracts with trades. So it's just, buddy gotta lock in and play, man. Like, and if I'm his teammates, especially if I'm Hero and Bam, I'm like, dog. Like, I understand you got beef with management, but you being a dickhead right now, yo. Like, the fuck are you on? So he probably done lost the whole locker room. It's just, I don't know. I think he hustling backwards right now, man. That's just my opinion.
I don't think Bam has my fault.
No. Go ahead. No, go ahead. This is so squad.
I don't think Bam can really say anything to anybody about anything pertaining to playing basketball this year.
Nigga stink.
Because he fucked this year. So if he came to the media and said anything about Jimmy hooping or not hooping, I wouldn't even pay it no mind because you not hooping either.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
It's a very
I'm just saying
point.
It's like he's supposed to be the team captain. So like you the captain, quote unquote, you won't feel type of way about a nigga like, man, we trash, get me the fuck out of here. Like, all right, nigga, what the fuck you trying to say? Like you gonna feel as a man, you gonna feel this type of way.
That's a fact. Pat Riley had multiple years to get some more help around that team other than some undrafted and G League players. That's why I said I'm on Jimmy's side because Pat Riley had ample amount of opportunities to do something and he didn't do it. I don't like the antics. The antics on both sides, childish, especially on Jimmy's. But Pat Riley had an ample amount of time. When they went to the finals the first time, he could have got more help. When they went to the finals the second time, that next year coming back, Gabe, Caleb, all them left, get more help. Don't bring in Thomas fucking Bryant to do something. Who is that? Who is that?
Tom Bryant out here?
Oh, we know who Thomas Bryant is after last night. Isaiah Stewart was sentenced to the depths of hell.
But like, come on. Do your job. Get some good players around him, and y'all could have probably went back to the finals again. But instead, you picked up you can go, Lee. My fault. You go.
No, hey, y'all both made some fantastic points.
Fuck out of here, Terry Rozier. We talking about the gambling nigga.
Hey, yeah.
Hold on now. Not big blood Terry Rozier now. Don't do that. Don't do that to Big Slime. Don't do that to Big Slime. He's hit multiple threes. That was important. He's had several 15-point games this season, I believe. Let me give some credit.
Terry Rozier can't throw a rock in the ocean, bro. Not good.
I'm going to check this.
He was good with the Hornets, though. He got to Miami and turned into a shit bag.
You know why? Because niggas in Miami. That's why. Niggas in Miami in the strip club. Niggas in Miami in the strip club. Niggas throwing their money. Niggas got their bread. Niggas don't come to Miami to hoop, man. That's the problem. Jimmy ain't really come to Miami to hoop. I don't care what nobody say. Jimmy came to find another baby mama and find some more white women. That's what he came here to do. Like, you tell the truth. That's what Jimmy came here to do. And if he could hoop in the midst of that, that's why. Lee, let me go to Lee, because what you saying, Lee?
Now, Jeff and Teb have made some fantastic points. I don't know if I can add to them, but I mean, it does feel like if he don't get traded before the deadline, he's going to feel like he's kept there against his own will. And the whole season could just go to hell after that. And I agree with Tev. If I'm Jimmy, after all the antics between both sides, he might as well just lock back in and play ball. And just let whatever happens. He still say he's in his prime. Show that you're still in your prime, because the way he's moving, he acts like he's a 2-3-time champion, and we know he's not that. So you might as well just play out the rest of the season, and if they give you what you deserve, what you want, then everybody's happy. If not, find a way to go somewhere else.
Yeah. So quickly, Tev. Terry Rozier had 22-4-4 in the last game. Thank you very much, buddy.
Man, you talking about a needle in a haystack game, bro.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. He had 16 points a game before that, or a game or two before that. I said he had multiple 15-point games. I'm not going back. I'm gonna look at his last 5 games because I'm lazy. But the nigga can play. I will say this though. In all seriousness, a lot of Miami Heat fans, Tev, I don't know if this applies to you. I don't think this applies to you. But a lot of fans in general, whether you're Warriors fan, whether you're Lakers fan, whether you're even like a Celtics fan, you're a Heat fan, you're a fan of a team that has had a run. People talk about team culture and this representation of culture, and it's typically only a culture that is heralded by the white rich owners of the team, which typically means if you believe in our culture, you'll take less money to be here. You'll accept the bullshit we give you. That's typically how it goes in the league, because the league is once again run by rich white men. It's essentially what that is. Pat Riley, Axe pointed out a little earlier. Be sure Pat Riley called Jimmy Butler a moolie. I would not be surprised if that was the case, but it all goes back to the point. Rich white men are who are at the top of the, and not to ruffle too many feathers. They're not that I give a shit anyway, but I think that becomes when people look at the team and look at players, there's always been a push and pull between players and teams for leverage and power. Players started taking their own leverage in their own hands by making their own decisions, leaving teams, not signing team-friendly deals, going for the max. A lot of teams would be like, oh, well, it'd be great if this person signs for, $35 million a year instead of $45 million a year. It'd be great for the team, and we can get other players, and we can get. Those are the sacrifices you might make, obviously, if you want to win or stuff like that. In Jimmy's case, he got a shit ton of money. And when you get paid that kind of money, you're getting paid basically $50 million a year, brother. You got to produce. He has not really produced. And to be fair, he has not taken the regular season that serious for the last however many years. He said it himself. And I think that becomes a problem. You can't be a
right.
leader of a team. No matter, look, I get it. If I was playing with Terry Rozier and I was playing with some of them niggas, I'd probably hate my life too and probably not want to be on the court. I get that. I understand that. But if you were still the leader, look, Steph Curry is out there with garbage, literal garbage on the fucking floor. And he's still talking about, we're going to figure this thing out. Let us do it. That's leadership. That's leadership. As dumb as it is, it's still leadership. If the ship is sinking, you got to privately try to find ways to fix it and not publicly do little antics or bullshit. That's the difference between Jimmy and I think most leaders in NBA and sports in general. He does not care about being a leader. I think he cares about what's best for Jimmy Butler. I ain't mad at that either, honestly. I think he wants to win, obviously, but he signed with a team and then also said the last few years he don't really care about the regular season. Just because y'all niggas made the finals from as the 8th seed, the 7th seed, whatever, does not mean that's going to be, you can bullshit 65, 50 games out of those 82 games and think you're going to be successful. There is a onus you can put on both sides. I think the Heat do not really care about winning like they claim. I think they see a lot of potential in Tyler Hero to be facing. Tyler Hero's played pretty well this season. Bam is straight cheeks. So I mean, I don't really have much to say about Bam this season. But like I said, the Heat culture, all that shit, the Jimmy Butler shit, like both sides just dumb. This is dumb to me, and I think the easiest way in situations like this is just let him go, move on, work on trying to get a decent haul for him, and then try to get something and just move on. And I think that's been the biggest trade domino so far of the season, but it's not the only one, because we kind of felt it was coming, but the rumor is that De'Aaron Fox is on his way out of Sacramento, and he has a preferred destination of San Antonio. Very interesting choice of all places to go, because the Kings and San Antonio like close in record anyway. And I guess he sees that Wemby is a much better option. Maybe he wants to play next to Steph Castle. Devin Vessel. I don't know what that trade would look like. I don't know if we're talking about a Chris Paul situation with somebody else or who are they packaging. But that's the rumor right now, is De'Aaron Fox wants to play for the San Antonio Spurs. A couple rumors, I think, listed Houston as a possibility and Miami as well. I don't think that's just a smokescreen. I think he really wants to go to San Antonio. I think he's had his mind made up since the year started, really, because he has not played great in spurts. He's had some struggles this year. He's had some great moments, but he's also had his fair share of struggles, especially over the last couple months. The whole Mike Brown thing. It's just a lot of drama over there in Sacramento. Tev, what do you think about this De'Aaron Fox thing? Do you think he's going to be traded before the deadline? Do you think he's going to go to San Antonio? And what do you think comes from that if he does get traded to San Antonio?
I think I said it. I think we talked about something like this earlier in the season, and I could always kind of tell, like, going into their games this season, that he was kind of giving half effort. He wouldn't fully give like 100%, like he usually does. The Mike Brown stuff, that was a crack in the wall right there. Everything with the DeMar DeRozan not really being I don't know what they were doing with that trade. First off, with that pickup, I mean, but because he's not a good fit for the way, especially like when they had that good season, and then the season after, and then this season, I don't think he was a good fit for that team. But just a lot of cracks in the wall, and now it's just all starting to blow up. I think he's actually making the right decision, finally, to get away from the Kings. But if you go to San Antonio, I'm kind of scared. Because now you put in, okay, maybe Chris Paul is in that trade and they send him off. And now Wemby gets De'Aaron Fox, good playmaker, good scorer, good penetrator, driver. The amount of opportunities Wemby will get and having an actual co-star next to him that can score the ball with him as he develops, and then not knowing who they're gonna pick up in the future. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
So me being a Miami Heat fan that I am, I need him to go play with Bam and actually teach him how to hoop again. So
Yeah.
don't send him to Wemby, please, because that's terrifying.
That nigga don't want to play with no damn Bam. He don't want to play with no
I
goddamn Bam.
know. I got look. I got faith.
There though.
I got faith. But no, yeah, I think if San Antonio pick him up, I think that'll be scary in the future because you just never know who they could pick up around them, and those two together would be a dynamic duo.
Talking about two guys who can get you 25 each on a regular basis. So, what do you think, Act? How you feel about this De'Aaron Fox thing, man? What you think?
Definitely think it's long overdue as far as him. This is year 7 or 8 in Sacramento. Only had one playoff appearance. He's probably seeing the other players in the league and like, yo, I feel like I'm up there. I need to get into a big market and start playing for some winning shit. I'm tired of just like putting up stats on the losing team. Even though last year they had 47 wins, but it just wasn't enough. If he does get traded to San Antonio, I could see probably Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson type of package for him. I think San Antonio tries to hold on to Castle. I wouldn't let go of Castle this early. I'll try to keep him if I could. They have a lot of first-round picks, too. I think the combo of Fox and Wemby would be potent. I would still hold on to Castle. One of those other three could probably go for Fox, though, because Fox is like a 25, 6-5 type of guy. So those dudes just ain't roaming around, especially free agency. Like motherfuckers really don't want to go to San Antonio free agent wise. That's never been a destination. So if you can get a trade for somebody that want to be there, you gotta make it shake. If Fox goes to Houston, I'm really concerned too. They got a lot of young pieces and they can still hold on to their starting lineup. So that would concern me as well. Like, because he's from Houston as well. So you could have a backcourt of him, Jalen Green, still got Amen Thompson. Like Brooks and Whitmore probably have to go. Or maybe Tari Easton or Jabari Smith. Like one of those players that have to go for him. But Houston has the pieces to make it shake better than San Antonio does to me. And I saw Miami as the destination. Him and Bam were college teammates, so they do have some chemistry and some history. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know who they would have to give up for him. Like, nobody wants the Duncan Robinson's expiring contract. You got Jimmy Butler. Pat would be petty enough to try to make that move. Like, trade him for Jimmy Butler straight up. Butler did say, I don't want to go to Sacramento either. So I guess he heard, got wind of the deep hot shit. Like, hold on, I don't want to be go straight up spot there. And if I'm Sacramento, if I do trade him to Miami, I would ask for Khalil Ware, even though I think he's probably untouchable with the way he's playing. So
I'm making that decision for him. He's untouchable.
I feel you on that. He's a hell of a player. I don't know why the hell it took y'all so long to start playing him. Yeah, San Antonio would be a good fit. I think Houston's the best fit, but because Houston, they have if I'm not mistaken, they have some of the Nets picks from the Harden trade. I think I'm trying. They got somebody's picks, so they got enough like assets and arsenal to like make something shake for real. So yeah, Houston would be my number one concern, but San Antonio, if they can get in the mix. But honestly, I don't know if Fox gets traded. But ever since Doug Christie took over, Malik Monk has looked very good. And like, so I don't know. It's tough, man. Like, I think it might be too late to try to put a trade together. But San Antonio would be nice. Houston would be the best fit, in my opinion.
What do you think, Lee?
It's tricky because, like what Jeff just said, Sacramento has played better since Christie filled in for Mike Brown. Do you try to ride this thing out, see where it goes, or do you trade Fox and and pretty much start fresh. I would personally ride this thing out to the end of the regular season. Like if they make a run and get one of those, get maybe a 7-8 seed play-in spot and go from there. But if you don't make the playoffs, I'd trade them in the off season. I'd do that for sure. And Houston and San Antonio, those should be the two best destinations for Fox. Yeah, you might lose Van Vliet in that trade, but if you get Fox in exchange, it's worth it. And in San Antonio's case, you get immediately younger at the point guard position and more dynamic. But I feel like that trade would work if Wemby could just chill on the threes, on shooting too many threes, because he's still shooting like 9-10 a game. If he could just stay in the paint, because he's recently said that he's not getting a fair shake with the calls lately. He got shoved out of bounds by Zubac in their last game, and he was getting ready to do something about it until his teammates held him back. But yeah, I think those would be the two top destinations. I would ride it out to the end, for the rest of this season. If they do make the playoffs, keep them. If they don't, trade them.
The thing about Wemby and the threes, I agree with you, but San Antonio really doesn't have great floor spacing with their current roster. Castle can't really shoot threes. Vassell can shoot. Sohan can't really shoot him like that. Mm-hmm. So he's like their floor spacer too. That's why they definitely need another guard. I was watching the end of that game against the Clippers last night, and their offense just went straight to shit. They was competing with them to like the last 4 minutes. Clippers just locked in and took over. And the Spurs really wasn't running any plays. They didn't really have a guy to score down the stretch. They would turn the ball over heavy. So that's where the need of Fox comes through. He's one of the best clutch players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they should make the move if it's available over the next week.
Well, trade deadline is a week away from now, a little less than a week from now, actually. And there could be other players on the move. Obviously, there's Vucevic has been talked about. Zach LaVine has been talked about. The Bulls look like they're going to be sellers at the deadline. The question is, who gets what player? I'll just say this: I don't care who gets traded where, as long as nobody goes to the Lakers. As long as the Lakers don't get nobody, I'm cool. Like, don't give them niggas nobody. I don't want them niggas to have nothing. You could give OKC a whole bunch of great players. You could give Cavs a bunch of players. They're the top two teams in their conference. I still wouldn't be mad. You can give them a star player, and I wouldn't even be mad because it's not the Lakers.
Talk about
Also, I guess it would be remiss if I didn't say this, although present company might not like this. I don't want them damn Celtics to get a goddamn thing either, X. I don't want them Celtics.
Talk about it.
I'm gonna keep it real brief. We don't need to do a whole lot, but we got to make a tweak and get an athletic wing or 4 off the bench. We got too many, I hate to say it like this. We got too many shooters on our team.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, we don't have enough.
Jacking a whole bunch of goddamn threes. That's damn.
We don't have enough athleticism and slashing. I know Brad Stevens, the whole Butler thing. I don't want to say we got too many white boys on the roster. They are contributors. But when we played Houston, their athleticism, it just jumped out. It was like, yo, we got to get some more hustle players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we can get like Monte Green, Torrey Craig, Josh Okogie, somebody like that.
Well, the starting lineup is I mean, there's very few starting lineups you would take over the Boston Celtics starting lineup. So just small little, plug-in kind of things you could plug in terms of like players and role players and bench guys.
They got free John Collins from Utah, dog. Like,
I actually,
Sexton,
that might be all right.
That's the move. That is definitely a move to make. John Collins has been playing very, very well out in Utah, but also
don't send him to Boston though. Yeah, let's get
I'm just saying in general. No, I wasn't gonna say that. Like, I ain't a dickhead. I'm not delusional. I'm talking about the other teams. Like, he cooking in Utah. They ain't got no direction.
So this is my question, right? Because it seems like this does happen often, where a guy will be on a terrible team, and we're all like, "Man, we got to free that guy from that team because his team sucks." And they get traded and they go to a different team, and then sometimes their production just doesn't look the same, and it's because if you send a player, if you send a player that's good on a bad team that has no structure, no anything, and then you send them to a team that has different expectations, the whole shit changes. And John Collins, he could very well be one of those teams. I mean, we saw he didn't necessarily look the best when he was in Atlanta. So, he had his moments, but he had his struggles too. But in Utah, he seems comfortable. Then again, everybody in Utah seems comfortable because you ain't got no need to win games. Y'all not trying to win shit. You just going out there and hooping. There's stress-free hoops, basically. Y'all trying to take.
If I'm the Pistons, I put in the call about John Collins. Like, they need a little bit more front court help. Like, he could pick and roll, pick and pop. He's athletic. He kind of fits their timeline a little bit. Like, I'm going to see what's up if I'm a team like the Pistons. Is like right on the fringe of maybe doing a little something. It wouldn't be like a high risk. You don't have to trade nothing crazy to get them. They trying to, like, put together some winning shit because Cade needs a little bit more help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely does. And that's an interesting thing to think about because you said, like, John Collins, he won't cost a whole lot. And there's a lot of players that are actually available for that, like, mid-tiered money, that 15 to, like, 25 million, 30 million. Even De'Aaron Fox, if you look at his contract, he's what, 30, 32, 33 million or something a year, which for a player of his caliber, a lot of guys are, Zach LaVine is worth $43, $44 million. So if you can get De'Aaron Fox for 32, 33, although it'll probably be a rental unless you're obviously the Spurs. But I mean, it's a cheaper price tag for a guy like a John Collins as opposed to going all in for a Jimmy Butler, a Zach LaVine, who are, two of the biggest names that have been talked about in terms of trades. So is there any diamond in the rough that will be available, any gem that is affordable for a team right now that somebody need that either a team that's right there at the middle, that's like a little bit over 500 or 500 or a couple games over 500? Is there any team out there that needs to grab any particular player that we haven't discussed so far? Let me ask you, Ted, is there any player out there that needs to be snatched up that we haven't talked about?
That we haven't talked about. Come back to me.
Man, I wasn't trying to talk. I was trying to eat my pretzel in peace. All right, fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I'm Orlando, I holler at Utah, see what they want for Colin Sexton. Like, he could be a 20-point per game scorer. They need backcourt help. Suggs, he's a good defender, but he's not really consistent offensively. I'm packaging like Cole Anthony, Wendell Carter, and probably a pick. I don't know how it works financially, but like, I would do that for Colin Sexton. If Brogdon can stay healthy, I would try to free him from the Wizards. I know he don't want to be there no more.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Rob Williams' name being floated around a lot in Portland. They got Klingon and Ayton. He's starting to play well a little bit this season. They don't want 5 out of 6. So you can get Rob Williams on the low. A lot of teams he definitely use him. It's just health with him. That's the only thing. I'm kind of hearing Benedict Mathurin might be moved because he's a free agent after this year.
Okay.
Who else?
If you think if Mathurin gets moved, who do you think would be a good fit to trade for him? You think any team that could use, I guess, what he brings to the table right now?
I would hate it, and I don't think they'll do it because it's in division. But like, I think he would fit in good with Cleveland at the 3 spot.
Okay.
I think maybe OKC too, because like when Shea gets off the floor, sometimes J-Dub ain't really cutting it, creating his own shot. So if I'm the Thunder, maybe I'll see if I can get Benedict Mathurin on the low. You know they got like 35 first-round picks and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, I think the Thunder should put in the bid, see what's good with him.
Yeah, I actually think the Thunder actually could use another small trade. It's interesting because they're number 1 in the West without Chet for most of the season. I see, Tev, you got something, Tev?
I got one. Cam Johnson, and this scares me. Cam Johnson to OKC.
Oh, that's been rumored for a while now.
That's a very doable trade, and it's very scary.
Very doable, but it's terrifying. It's extremely terrifying.
A healthy OKC, man, I don't see nobody beating them in the West 4 games personally. And if they make that trade, I don't see that at all. I don't think nobody's beating them. But once again,
Dallas got their number, bro. I don't know what it is. They don't want that smoke with Dallas.
They are 3-1 against OKC this season.
That is true. That's true. But
I think Dallas beats them with. My fault.
No, you go ahead.
I said I think Dallas beats them with size because for some odd reason, PJ Washington turned into Anthony Davis.
Yes.
When he see OKC, bro, I ain't never seen him act like that before. But he see OKC and turn into a superstar.
He see OKC.
I think they fare better well against them once Chet is back because Hartenstein and whoever else they got guarding him out there cooked.
Yes.
Yeah, I do agree. Obviously, Chet would play a role and maybe helping a little bit with the size. I mean, Hartenstein should help a little bit himself, but I think my thing with Dallas is once it comes playoff time, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Dallas has had an up and down, really a weird up and down season so far, and Luka's supposed to be back soon. If Luka stays healthy, I think they have a chance to go back to the finals. But I don't know, man. That calf injury, I think it was a calf injury or something that Luka had. It was looking a little too close to the big one, and we all know what the big one is. So look a little too close. And I mean, I don't mean to say it this way, but Luka a fat nigga, so you gotta be careful. Like you gotta be careful out there putting that weight on you. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I don't know. I don't want to see Dallas make it back to the finals personally. I like to see OKC get the shot. I just want to see. I like this. The younger teams getting a chance, and SGA is my guy. I love watching them play. So I do think, but briefly, the Cam Johnson thing, I think that's a good fit. But it always goes back to my question a little earlier. You take a player that has no expectations and you put him on a team that's expected to, be the number one that's number one 2 years in a row. Does he still To
be fair to Cam Johnson, he was on that Suns team that got to the finals. So he had some type of playoff experience.
Yeah, we ain't talking about them.
That's the whole time.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that Chris Paul and them book bullshit. We ain't talking about them niggas. But
I was just trying to give it Cam out a little bit. That was all. It ain't
you're right.
Cam
you're
Thomas,
right.
he ain't no chucking.
But I mean, you're right. But even then, like that's probably the most, I guess, the most playoff experience he's had. I guess the next year when, was it next year? Did they go? They went to the playoffs the next year, right?
Yeah, and lost in 7 to Dallas.
Yeah. Okay. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, I know that was the year they got. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that was the year they got cooked.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Them niggas lost by like 35, 45, some shit like that. But yeah, I mean,
Can I
I
add
don't know.
something to that Colin Sexton one?
Oh yeah.
Timberwolves. They need a guard.
Yeah, they do. They do need it.
That's a good call.
And I think I'm not sure. Huh?
Mike Conley not cutting for you there, Tez.
Yeah. Get his old ass out of there, bro. Respectfully, though. Respectfully. Or I think a team like the Timberwolves that need a guard, if Anthony Simmons is on the market, I don't know what the Trailblazers doing, but if he on the market,
that was my guy.
My fault. My bad. Act like I ain't never said that, bro. I ain't even say it.
Yeah, we just gonna erase that. We just gonna ride that bitch back. And we just gonna go to Lee. We just gonna go to Lee. Go ahead, Lee. You got this, Lee. It's all on you, player. It's all on you. Go ahead, player.
Yeah, Tab took my guy Anthony Simons, Portland. Yeah,
Simons. My fault. I said his name wrong. So I ain't even say it. You got
it. Anthony Simons. Dude's he averages over 20 a game easy. Those kind of guards don't grow on trees, so I would think somebody like Orlando or like what we discussed already, Minnesota. You know, Minnesota would be great just to take a lot of that pressure off of Anthony Edwards, because we all know he's the number one option every given night. Another guy.
I'll let Julian Randle hit it.
Oh, geez.
Hey, send Julius to Utah for John. They could do that.
Straight up?
I don't know about straight up. I don't know. Maybe.
Another guy I was thinking about, CJ McCollum. The CJ averaging over 22 a game, but
that shit fake. I don't care what nobody says. That shit fake.
Is it? Ain't it? I was starting to think, is it? Because like we've seen CJ play playoff basketball, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't good.
Because he's not like that. He really not like that. He just like they like the worst team in the West, right? So you ball out when you the worst. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you the worst team in the West, you ball out, and then you put on what he had like a 40-point, 50-point game the other night or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I was so mad. I know some nigga out there put a bet on that too. Put a straight bet on a nigga that had 40. Cash the fuck out.
CJ McCollum forever an op. Forever. For that bullshit. Not even from the Warriors years, from that bullshit CBA. Him and Grant Williams don't deserve nothing.
Signing this CBA, he's making $35 million this year. He can't even go nowhere. You can't trade straight up for his ass. So like, fuck his CBA. I agree with you, man.
Idiot. He's an idiot.
Hate that nigga. Fuck CJ McCollum and anybody who love him.
That night he scored 50, I was so mad. Why him? Why him? Of all people, why him?
But speaking of New Orleans, does anybody trade for B.I.? Y'all think he's moved at all? He lost.
Is he healthy yet?
Nah, he's still out, bro. He's still out.
He's still hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Murphy took over his position, dog. Like he ain't getting that shit back from Trey Murphy.
No, he's not.
He making what, 35 mil, 36?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I heard Toronto is like interested. I'm like, it's kind of redundant what y'all got going on. They got
Toronto?
RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes. Like,
Like who would you trade? Who would you trade for BI? Like, how does it? It's like that's like a marginal move anyway, because you got to move somebody salary wise. Who's wait? Somebody's trying to. Wasn't Toronto's trying to move somebody's contract? They're trying to get rid of somebody's contract, right? I can't remember who it was. Was it Bruce Brown?
I was gonna say, is
Yeah,
it Bruce?
Bruce, yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Brown. I mean,
BI's better than Bruce, but like it don't fit roster wise. Like I don't see how
it don't make
him,
sense.
RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, whoever they draft in the top 10 is going to work. Like
And Jacoby Walter, he's been getting some minutes too.
Yeah, like it already got forward, so I don't understand that. Like BI can help somebody out, I think though. I don't know what team needs him that's like on the fence. Like, would you want Golden State to trade for him?
No.
Damn.
And there's a reason why. One, his availability.
Mm-hmm.
Two, also, if we're being honest about BI has too many periods of inconsistency through his career and it could be obviously because health related, but you know, when he's healthy, he's on point. You know, he plays really well. I think Golden State is, I mean, they're pretty much doomed in my opinion, but the only way you could really change anything on that team is you have to get rid of a lot of the dead weight. The problem with the Golden State Warriors is watch the other night against the OKC Thunder, right? And against the Jazz. You can have guys like Dennis Schroeder come out and play well against these teams. Dennis Schroeder didn't necessarily play that well against OKC, but you'll have Kevon Looney, who has been old and slow most of the season, go out there and put up 18 points and 4 blocks and shit like that. And then what happens with Golden State is they'll go, see, we can't trade him. We need a guy like that. Gary Payton will miss 3 whole months of the season, come back, put up 15 points, get like 8 rebounds, couple blocks, couple steals.
Posted dunk.
Yeah, posted dunk. And then they'll be like, see, we can't trade him. But those two equal out to their contracts together is like 18, 19 million. So those are two people who, that's almost $20 million right there. You find a bad team to take on those expiring salaries and just toss in maybe like one other player and a pick, and you can go get a Vucevic if you want. You can, if you really, I don't know how it would work roster wise. If they were really serious about getting Zach LaVine, there's like 4 or 5. You could take 4 or 5 of those players that aren't getting that much time and they have a lot of either expiring salary or worth a lot, and you could trade for Zach LaVine. Obviously, that is an expensive person to have on your roster. And we have not seen Zach LaVine play extremely meaningful basketball through his career. Mm-hmm. But we know for a fact, Zach LaVine, they should have did this shit in the offseason. Chris Paul was making $30 fucking million. I remember I was talking to somebody and they was like, I don't know about LaVine, bro. I don't know about LaVine. I said, I'm telling you, Chris Paul makes 30-some million. They were trying to trade Chris Paul's contract to the Clippers with like 1 or 2 other pieces to get Paul George. So if you could do that for Paul George, who is older, who has more injury history, you could have done that for Zach LaVine, who was $5 to $6 million cheaper a year. And the Bulls are trying to give Zach LaVine away. Obviously, health was a question, but shit, you were trying to trade for Paul George. That nigga health is always a question. Yeah. So it didn't. I just don't think the Warriors are really going to make any moves. I could see the Vucevic thing happening as the deadline gets closer, and you know what I'm saying. I guess he helps. He would help them win a couple more games because he can score, but he's also inconsistent offensively himself. Same thing can be said for Zach LaVine too, though. I mean, Zach LaVine does have his games where he goes off for 30, but then he has games where the nigga might have like 12 or like 8, and it's like to pay somebody $43 million for that. If you had to weigh your options, Vucevic provides them with a stretch big, and that's something that they were hinting at with Quentin Post. They were kind of hinting at trying to go that route, and I think Steve Kerr put like an APB out, like a cry for help, like, "Hey, I want this player. Go get him. He's only worth $20 million. Only $20 million. They could easily make a trade for $20 million and not lose anybody substantial. But once again, Joe Lacob is an idiot. Mike Dunleavy does his bidding for him. These are idiotic people in the front office. Steph, straight up on some pussy shit, and ain't, you know what I'm saying? Steph needs some of that like 2016, 2018, 2017 Braun in him, where he just go to the front office and be like, "Hey, nigga, I want this nigga gone. This nigga stinks. He's on my team. He stinks. Get him out of here and get me some help." But Steph want to, he want to be loyal, like that loyal to a flaw shit, bro. Because if I was Steph, I would have asked for, you know, I would have asked for a trade. I'd have asked for a trade. Like y'all ain't taking me seriously. Fuck Joe Lacob. But once again, loyalty. That loyalty.
Joe Lacob. My fault.
Nah, fuck Joe Lacob. We can make that motherfucker a song in this bitch. I don't care. That shit is bullshit. Like, fuck Joe Lacob. And I think the disrespect to your franchise player, who Steph is having a rough year. Obviously, he got the knee tendinitis thing, so that's obviously going to be a problem. So I just, like I said, I think the Warriors absolutely need to make a trade. I just think they're going to wait till the last minute and then miss out on like all the players that are available that can help. The only player who I think they're in the driver's seat to trade for Vooch, but I don't think they're like trying to get away with it without giving out a first round pick, which is fair because the truth to that is there's nobody else offering a first round pick for Vooch. Like, that's it. Nobody's offering a first round pick for Vooch, man. You could go ahead and if you can get him for two second rounders in matching salary, you're not losing anything. And you're adding someone who can hit a couple threes, who can score as well. That's what they need. They need more scores. I will say the OKC game did look like the Warriors that we watched in the beginning of the season. A little bit. But once again, that's not all the time. That's not all the time. We need that more consistently if they're going to be a team. They're right there in the hunt to be a play-in team or a 5th, 6th seed. They not making it to the top 4. We know that's over with. They lost that chance. But if you get a player who can get you, I don't know, another extra 5 or 6 wins more than you were going to get, you have a chance to at least vie for the 6th seed, 7th seed, or something like that, and try your hand at that. But once again, I don't see any major moves happening. I don't even know if Zach LaVine is really going to be traded like that either. I don't even know.
I don't know either.
It didn't feel like that's a thing. I've heard Kobe White's name be possibly mentioned and other little players they're trying to get rid of. But we're at less than a week to the deadline, and they ain't trade nobody. So if you ain't trade nobody, how serious are you about making those trades? You're not going to get a shit ton of draft picks. And I'll be honest, I don't even know how Chicago Bulls still have the coach employed. Look, dog, we done seen hella niggas get let go for a lot less. Doc Rivers has been fired, rehired other places. They got rid of my man in fucking Milwaukee for Doc Rivers' old bitch ass. And now look, Billy Donovan is still fucking coaching the Bulls. Why? I don't get that at all. Like, he has not had them with like a good season, a good winning record, nothing. No like second round, conference finals, nothing. And he's still there. The Bulls are a joke of an organization, and I hope they get finessed out of all of their players because they are fucking idiots. Go ahead, Ax. I know you got something to say.
So, briefly, I saw the Bulls said everybody is tradable except for their rookie Matas Buzelis. I saw that online. And as far as the Warriors, I was saying it's just like Warriors talk. I follow all different types of fan bases. They were saying they feel like Dre is like expendable at this point, and Wiggins is more valuable to the team this year rather than Draymond. How do y'all two feel about that? I know, like Tev, he writes about the Warriors and stuff like that. So, how do you feel about that, Tev?
You want my honest,
yes, sir,
unfiltered opinion? Get Dre the fuck out of there. Get him off the team expeditiously. I'm tired of him. I just want to go back to the first round pick thing. This pertains to Dre as well. They traded JP. They traded JP and like 3 other players plus first round picks, a first round pick for Christopher Paul.
Oh Lord,
Bro, Christopher Paul. But they scared to give up a first round pick for Vucevic, somebody that can actually help the team.
I forgot a first was attached to that. Yo, I just thought it was all players. Damn.
First was attached to that.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with the Jordan Poole thing. I actually think Jordan Poole should have been traded, just not for Chris Paul.
That's valid. That's very valid.
That was the issue. I think at $30+ million a year, I just don't.
The problem was never the trade. It was for who it was for.
For who it was for. And I think once again, there are other players they could have attempted to make a trade for or held on to JP for, half of the year and then made a trade. And I think the coddling of Draymond Green is the problem. Draymond talks so goddamn much, and he need to be slapped. Somebody need to slap shit out of him because he talked too damn much, and he be halftime. He only be saying shit. He only be like saying nothing substantial. Just talking. And the whole Jordan Poole thing, like I said, Jordan Poole got punched, then got paid, then got traded because he didn't live up to what they expected of him. And I think it's impossible for Jordan Poole to live up to what's expected of him because of the fact I think Jordan Poole is super talented, but he's also extremely inconsistent because he's still young, he's still growing as a player. Now, why they thought Chris Paul was the right move, and I don't know who signed off on that bullshit, but that's the way to get better, get slower, get older. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of fucking sense. Like, I don't understand. It was almost like they were trying to tank the season, like, because it didn't make no fucking sense,
For the amount of assets that they gave up, Kristaps Porzingis was right there. They let the fucking Celtics get him. They said, "Yeah, you know what? We don't want you, Porzingis. Give us Chris Paul."
And we didn't have to give up much to get him.
That is true.
We did not have to give up much to get him, dog. Like, I think we gave up. It was Marcus Smart, Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and Memphis gave us a first round pick, and we gave up like I think 2 seconds. It was something crazy like that. Like, we got him for way cheaper, which y'all got Chris Paul for. It was crazy.
They looked at Porzingis and said, "You know what? No, give us the short one. We want the short one."
But you know what it is also?
We don't want the tall shooter, the stretch big.
I'll tell you what. It's been talked about, and I do believe it, that there is a Warriors tax when it comes to attempting to make trades. I do believe some teams just don't want to deal certain players to certain whatever. Now, I don't know the Porzingis situation. I've heard things. I heard that they were talking about his injury history was a concern for them, and so trading for Chris Paul makes absolutely no fucking sense.
No sense
if that was the case. But once again, the Warriors organization is full of a bunch of idiots, and we see that Steph Curry literally made this organization worthwhile. I mean, they had that one We Believe year, Baron Davis, Matt Barnes, and all those guys. But they were dog shit. Even Monte Ellis year, they were dog shit. Steph came in, changed the trajectory of this team. And what happens, just like with every single billionaire owner, the owner starts to feel like, I did this. No, nigga, you didn't do shit. You picked the player who became the reason why your team went from being valued at 300-something million to being valued at however many billion they're worth now. Number one value team in the league. And you couldn't even get a substantial co-star for your star player that's given you everything he's had, stayed with you, and was loyal this entire time.
He had the co-star. He had the co-star. Draymond ran him out of the building, though.
I'm gonna tell you the truth about we talking about Poole? Is that what we talking about? Or
No.
we talking about KD? We talking about KD because if we talking about KD ran himself out that building, and I have a and because KD was gone. The reason why Draymond, I don't talk about this that much, but the reason why KD and Draymond was butting heads because Draymond knew something that a lot of people didn't know, and that KD was leaving anyway. Rich Kleiman was getting KD to New York regardless. The Knicks thing, that was going to be the move with him and Kyrie going to the Knicks, taking over the Big Apple. That was behind the scenes shit. I heard that 3 months before they even started the season. That was the talk. And Rich Kleiman is a Knicks fan. He's an NY guy. He's his agent. That's what he wanted to do. And what did they do? They went to New York. They took over Brooklyn because their plans got spoiled. And Draymond was pissed off about that because he felt like, well, shit, you can stay and we can keep winning and we can do that stuff like that. It don't make what Draymond did right, obviously. And then Draymond did the same thing with Jordan Poole. And it's all Draymond's insecurities. Draymond's insecurities has cost the Warriors several championships. It was crazy because they have fucking 4 championships in the last 10 years, but they could have won more without Draymond's ridiculousness. I still think they had an opportunity. If Draymond didn't act like a jackass, they could have won Game 5 in 2016. And after that, it was over. After Game 5, 2016, you could tell that shit was over. They was done. They was done for after that. But like that's the problem. If they were going to trade Draymond, he makes $25 million a year. You could package Draymond with like a couple role players and get you somebody making $40-45 million, and that's a co-star. And we see without Draymond, they just beat the number 1 team in the conference. Now, Draymond is not the same the defensive player that he used to be. Also, there are other guys on that team who can defend. Their defense locked in the fourth quarter against OKC. And look who them niggas had on the floor. Gary Payton II, Kevon Looney, Moses Moody had like 3 or 4 minutes on the floor. They had players on there that are well adjusted to the system, well adjusted to what they do, and they're faster, they're quicker. Draymond's getting old. If you could, I know Steph probably wouldn't want to do it without Draymond, but then again, Clay left. You know what I'm saying? Clay left. Got to find somebody to replace him. I think they should keep Wiggins. I think Wiggins has been playing great this year, and he's inconsistent sometimes, but for the most part, he's been delivering. He's been trying to do the best he can. Obviously, he didn't do a great job on SGA. Nobody did a great job on SGA the other night because he had like 52. But that's the MVP. So what can you do? Let's see. Trade deadline. That's pretty much the basis of everything. Last quick thing I'll talk about before we get out of here. All-Stars were announced. A lot of people a little bit mad that Trae Young, the current assist leader in the NBA, was not an All-Star. Some people were mad about LaMelo. A couple other people. Any snubs All-Star wise that you guys felt should have made it? Let me start with you, Tev. You got any All-Star snub?
I actually, other than Trey, because I always feel like he gets snubbed, the constant 20 and 10 is just like, bro, put him in the games. But other than that, I mean, I guess maybe I could say LaMelo, but he'll be taking Tyler Hero's spot, and I just can't have that. So that's really all I can think of.
Over the brother, man. That's crazy.
I'm sorry, but that's all I can really think of for real. I'm not too mad at the reserves this year.
What about you, X?
Eastern Conference, I don't really think it's a lot of snubs, to be honest with you. Heroes average 24, 5, and 5. I don't understand why everybody's giving them smoke. Like, to deal with this Jimmy Butler bullshit, man's not having the year that we expect him to have. Hero is the reason why they're in the playoff hunt right now. So he deserves his spot. Garland deserves his spot. Mobley deserves his spot. Some people are trying to say Siakam doesn't, but the Pacers are a 5th seed. They 10-2 in their last 12 games. You should reward that. I don't really think LaMelo's a snub like that. I mean, the numbers are good. 28-7-5 is nice, but them niggas had 12 wins. And like, I think that kind of matters, especially with the coaches. Like, yeah, you're going to get the fan vote, but coaches, they care about that winning shit, man. Jalen, he hasn't been shooting as well from the field this year, but he's still averaging 23, 6, and 5. We're the 2 seeds, so I can see why he got his spot. Trae Young, probably the only snub. He is leading the NBA in assists, 22 and 11. I'm glad Cade got his love because he deserves it. He's been playing really well. I don't really have any Eastern Conference snubs. The one name that I'm surprised to see, although he's playing well, like a lot of people felt like Josh Hart should have been an all-star reserve. I was like, his name just didn't come to mind to me. But people were bringing that up. Like 14, 9, and 6 is nice, but it's too many guys in the Eastern Conference cooking for me to consider that all-star numbers, in my opinion.
I'm going to agree with you. Josh Hart is a good player, but if Josh Hart would have made the all-star team, I'd have beat the dog shit out of Adam Silver for allowing that to happen. Because what the fuck is that about? Like, come on, man. Like, what we doing out here, man? Like, what is this?
You know, shout out to Dave too. Dave deserved his spot too. Like,
no, I guess it's fair. I guess it is fair because we've seen people going to the All-Star game with, averaging like 11 and 8 and 9 and Draymond-ass stat lines and shit like that. Obviously, Josh Hart is not playing like Draymond level defense in Draymond's prime, but still, it's just not Josh. I did see somebody say they didn't think Sengun deserved it, but I disagree with that. I think
disagree with that too.
Deserves it. I mean, I guess you could argue other players on the Rockets maybe deserving a little bit more, but I don't think. I think Sengun's been their most consistent player this year. Obviously, they have a great wealth of talent there, which is why they are where they are ranked right now. Where they are. So, Jaren Jackson. Hey, man, Jaren Jackson Jr. actually doesn't get enough credit to me because he's been, in my opinion, he's been the best player for the Grizzlies this season, and they are top 3 seed. Ja has not looked like Ja. He's missed a lot of games. So I don't know if that injury really took its toll or he just still needs to get himself back to where he was, but he does not look like Ja this season. But the Grizzlies still keep on winning. Shout out to Jaren Jackson Jr. Shout out to a lot of those guys on that team. That Grizzlies team that's a sneaky team right there. So
Desmond Bane's been nice this season.
Hey man, fuck Desmond Bane. Hey man. That nigga got short arms. He got real short arms, man. I don't know somebody. I can't fuck with Desmond Bane, man. He just, I don't know, man. I don't, something about that nigga. I don't know, something about him. Don't like about him.
He is built like a linebacker. I will say that.
It's just like you playing the wrong sport, nigga. You got little arms and shit, nigga. Get out of my face, man. I don't. I mean. Like I said, Jaren Jackson Jr. though, well-deserved All-Star nod. I think what I like about this is that we're seeing guys who we don't normally see get picked. I like that. I think the game is headed into a new direction. We're ending that LeBron, KD, Steph, I guess James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard era. That era is all slowly coming to an end. And it's time for some of those, young guys to get in there. Some of those other guys. I'm not surprised that Anthony Edwards made it. Not surprised that James Harden made it. Even though Harden, he's old, like Steph.
I wanted Powell to get that spot, dog.
Yeah,
like, Powell's been cooking this year. That's like my only snub. Powell and maybe Sabonis. That's it.
I agree with you. I think he's been. Arguably, I mean, it's been a 1-2 punch for them, right? I mean, Kawhi's back now. Kawhi's starting to come in, he's starting to round in the form a little bit, but it's been 1-2 punch. It's been Harden and Norman Powell all season, and they are a top 6, top 5, top 6 seed in the West. So you got to salute him for that. Norman Powell talked hella shit right before Paul George left, and then went and produced as good, if not better, than him.
He sure did back that up.
Yeah, so that's
man.
Yeah, I mean, so shout out to them. Like I said, this All-Star game. There's a new format this year, right? There's a
Oh, he don't like it. He don't like it. I was thinking
I don't have any plans on watching this like that. I don't. I love hoops, but I think the NBA has made some of the most brain dead decisions ever. Hey, you know what? Before we get out of here, real quick, Adam Silver, the terrorist that he is, said he wants to change the quarters to 10-minute quarters.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
There's like a collective. Like if you're listening, you can't see everybody's face, but I can see everybody's reaction to that, and that just told me nobody is feeling that. Like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Can I add one thing about Adam Silver? And this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't think he's made a good idea since he's been in office. I don't.
Playing tournament's been actually kind of good though.
I don't like the concept of it because why are we rewarding bottom feeders? Only time it makes sense is if all the records are close. But if the 8th seed is 46, 47 wins, and then you got 9th and 10th seed down in the 30s, leave them down in the 30s.
Nah, respect. I got you. I feel you on that. I personally like the game's been good bump. That's all I'm saying. It's been good games, but you're 100% right with what you're saying, though.
Yeah, I don't like the NBA Cup. None of that. He's changing the game. My fault. I'm gonna stop. You go.
No. Keep going. Look, you keep going. You keep going. I'm thinking as you're talking. I'm trying to think of a time where I saw Adam Silver make a decision. And I was like, man, that's a good idea. I'm drawing a motherfucking blank. It's crazy.
What about the 14-second shot clock on the reset? What about that?
Okay, I like that.
Okay, yeah.
You got one. I give him one.
That's day one. That's day one. Yeah, that's just one.
I give him one.
Broken clocks are right twice a day. So I mean, you gotta have one. But it's like even then, that was probably somebody else out there anyway. So I don't even want to credit him with that. Somebody else probably mentioned it to him. Probably like, oh, okay, sure, we'll do that.
Challenge.
Like,
Coach's challenge. I don't think that was his idea. That should have low key always been a part of the game.
Okay, yeah.
Because refs suck, so that should have always been a part of the game.
Nah, you ain't lying. Referees suck. Referees suck, and referees are terrible every fucking season. And you know why?
Worse though.
Because you know why? You know why it sucks? Because Adam Silver, like I said, he is the devil of the NBA. He is evil. This man does not give a shit about the game of basketball, preserving the purity of basketball and the greatness of basketball. He is so worried about this other shit, and I get it. It is a business. I understand that, but some of these decisions, and I'm gonna end off with this because I need people to understand. For all of my brothers out there, because we tend to talk about sports betting on here. We've mentioned spreads and points, something like that. It is a conflict of interest when Adam Silver has partnered with every fucking betting app possible.
And players and then low key getting involved with sports betting.
I seen LeBron and Kevin Hart on a DraftKings commercial together. And in my mind, I was like, watch this nigga don't get 25 tonight. And in the same night, LeBron had like 16, 5, and 7. And I was like, I know somebody probably bet on him to have like 20, 8 and 8 or some shit like that. And you think about it, there's people who will say, oh, that's your fault for betting on that. No, nigga, when you bet on players, you're betting on them to do their fucking job, which they get paid $50 million to do, which if you average 25 and somebody bets you to go get 20 and you finish with like 10 points or 12 points, you stink that night. You stink. And it's the NBA's fault though, because they are promoting these betting apps, then getting mad at players who are also digging in the cookie jar, then telling people, the players like KD, and like I said, I love KD. KD is a great player. KD is sitting up there with fine ass K Adams and putting out his own fucking NFL parlays, but then talking about, oh, y'all betting on me. I ain't tell y'all to bet on me. Nigga, you just told us to bet on the Commanders and they got blown out by 30. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's the sports betting is a conflict of interest. I do not recommend it for a lot of the fans out there. I mean, look, if you got $10 extra and you trying to win something, you trying to flip. Like, I'm a hustler. I understand trying to flip. I get that. I ain't telling nobody not to do that. But do not listen. There is a circle with this, all these different connections and all these different things. It's all connected. It's all bullshit. None of this shit makes any sense. Why the fuck are NBA players giving you parlays to play and then complaining when you complain about them stinking in a game? Nigga, you get paid to do this.
Yeah.
You get paid to do this.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid by these companies to promote the same shit that you get mad at their fans. Like, this is bullshit, and Adam Silver is to blame because Adam Silver allowed this shit. David Stern was letting niggas go to Vegas and do their shit. Michael Jordan was like this motherfucker. I mean, Michael Jordan, the most famous gambler of all time. That nigga probably would be worth like 10 more billion if he ain't gamble all that shit away during his prime. But
anytime you gambling with a nigga named Slim Butler with a Jerry curl, you know you're a fucking degenerate, man.
Yeah, that's the degeneracy shit right there. I mean, we all know the rumors about Jordan. I ain't gonna go into all that. You know how his gambling caught up to him. I ain't gonna go into all that. We seen The Last Dance and all that shit like that. But it's a problem. It's a problem, and Adam Silver allows it. Allen Iverson couldn't even make terrible rap songs and cussing them when David Stern was commissioner. Adam Silver is letting you niggas. I done heard so many Dame Lillard songs and so many goddamn rap. Miles Bridges had fucking rap songs, and these niggas still in the league, and them niggas be hitting women, and Kevin Porter Jr. beating. Like, what the fuck is going on? Adam Silver is terrible at his job. He does not know how to punish the players. He is not good at what he does. He has no good ideas. That's why the league sucks. That's why the ratings are down. That's why things suck, because the game does not feel like it's supposed to feel, and it's all this extra shit, this betting shit, this like promotion shit, the things they're promoting, the All-Star game. Nobody just want the All-Star game to be competitive. Nobody want no 4 fucking teams.
Talk about it.
What the fuck is that shit, bro? Like, what the fuck is that? Come on, bro. Like, niggas just want to see hoop. We just want to see hoop, dog. That's it. Nothing else. Just good hoops, good players going out there playing the game the right fucking way, and that's it. Like, remember the league was changing the rules on the fouls and shit. And like, oh, we're gonna stop all that flopping. Niggas is still flopping, and they still getting away with it. What happened? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm done. I ain't got shit.
So I literally got one final question. And first of all, I hate the whole 10-minute quarter thing. Fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
Let niggas play the full 48. Let niggas still play 82 games. Don't change that. Like, start the games on time, in all honesty. Like, that whole 15-minute delay after games, like, cut that shit out. Maybe again, games end in 2 hours. Chop off some of the commercials. But somebody asked on Twitter, they asked me, it was like, do you think he's trying to preserve the 40 minutes to protect like LeBron's scoring record?
I saw that.
I was kind of intrigued by that. First of all, I don't think anybody's gonna catch that shit.
No. I'm catching that.
But like, that would be like a taint to all-time records. Like, it's no way you could catch it if you chop off 8 minutes off the game, like, and then you chop off the 82. That's just not affected to the history of the game. It's been 48 minutes for damn near 80 years. Yeah. So why change that now? Just because some TV shit? Like, fuck out of here. That was my last like point about that. Like,
No, go ahead, Lee.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know if y'all covered the WNBA, but I've seen the last couple years they start their games on time. Like when it's 7:30, it's 7:30 on the dot. Or like when it's 1 o'clock, it's 1 o'clock. I don't know what's so hard about starting a basketball game on
Because a
time.
sport full of niggas, and niggas don't do shit on time. That's really all. That's really
Adam Silver's NBA, man. Adam
Like-
Silver's NBA.
Yeah, but to Axel's point about the 10-minute quarters, I feel like there's something else to it, and from a business perspective, we don't know yet because it doesn't make sense. It came out of left field, so there's got to be some incentive that Adam Silver's getting behind the scenes to make that a public thing. But and he got backlash. Everybody was like, "That's a bad idea, bad idea." Nope. And he probably still gonna try to do it because he don't care.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He don't care.
Yeah,
He don't care. So on my end, it's fuck Joe Lacob, fuck Adam Silver, still fuck Chris Paul, obviously. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Fuck all these niggas, really. I mean, look, I'll just say this really quick before we get out of here. This has been a hoop hour plus another 20 minutes. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys for being on here. Appreciate everybody who has been reading everything on Medium. Appreciate the Instagram love and the love on other platforms that I can't speak of right now for personal reasons. But a lot of things are in the pipeline right now. You can stay tuned to the Medium site and our Twitter and YouTubes and Instagram for Cincinnati Cyclones hockey action as well as NCAA action. I will be doing the hockey action. My brother Apollo will be doing the NCAA action. You can check what we did today. We had our guy Chris in Florida. He was at Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. Got a lot of content. Shout out to him for that. Damn, I feel like I'm forgetting something. There's music on the way from the crew. Got more stuff coming. Make sure y'all check out the Hoop Panel. Make sure you go check out Lee Harvey's YouTube and watch him get cooked by a whole bunch of niggas that he brings against in the gym on his open run. Please go watch Lee Harvey's YouTube.
Please. Same. My YouTube, same name as it says right here. Music Fan for Life.
Yeah, y'all go watch. See, Lee hasn't learned like I learned. I post pictures with the ball on the court, and I don't post videos of myself because I'd be damned if y'all gonna see me break these damn shots. I'd be damned. Y'all not gonna watch that shit. I'm taking videos of that. I'm shooting like Buddy Hill currently, so that's where we at right now. So I'm not gonna do that at all. But make sure you check out Lee. Lee got his YouTube stuff. He posting his, like I say, posting getting cooked on the court and all that shit. Shout out to Tev. I seen Tev post a video actually the other day of him playing. I ain't gonna say nothing about Tev. Tev actually looked like he was cooking a little bit, but he was in the gym by himself. So that should let you know right there. He's in the gym by himself. Which, hey, I've been in the gym by myself too, so I get it. Also, make sure you check out Tev's articles. Tev's articles on Medium. He just had one go up on Houston Rockets player Mean Thompson. He has more on the way. I got more on the way. Because world of DAR never stops. All right, Eric, cut this shit off. Goddamn. This goddamn long as hell.